Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot. In this video, it is part 2 of my hater response to crazy comments that I get in my videos. So yesterday I did Jason Momoa. I had some hater response to my reading on his divorce with Lisa Bonet. Some things were taken out of context. I got really spicy. I don't know if I'm going to get spicy in this one, but this one is for Johnny Depp because this one actually was the one that I kind of was like, not too cool. So, and I also decided we're going to do a third one on Keanu Reeves, or a fourth on Keanu Reeves. So we'll be right back. All right. So Gregopedia just brought up something really funny. So when I was still doing my corporate job at home, and I, to be sure, I go by the name Anna Miller, just Anna, when I work professionally and in the corporate environment. Gregopedia noticed something when I was talking to different clients in different demographics, and I worked in states all across the United States. Sometimes my accent would change. Sometimes I would be Anna Miller, blah, 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 insurance broker, yada, yada, yada. And sometimes I would turn into Anna Miller, depending on who I was talking to and where they were. So if they were from New Jersey, Anna Miller would sometimes show up. And Anna Miller was a little bit, Anna Miller was a bit tougher and not I actually didn't talk like that. It wasn't like a New York accent, but Anna Miller really would be much firmer with her clients than Anna Miller was. Anna Miller dealt with some of the clients in the southern states and really had to tone back that New Jersey accent because I'm a Yank and I got a few bless your hearts from them from my clients down south, but in the end they all liked me. But nonetheless, so we're going to talk a little bit about Johnny Depp. So Johnny Depp, I did a video on him, I guess last week, and it was a request. It was on his love life, and one of the things that I was doing with that video, I didn't want to go and research and see if he was dating anybody, see if he was involved with anybody, if there's any drama. We heard enough on the whole Amber Heard thing. Vanessa Paradis, I loved her. I thought she was great. Winona Ryder, why, oh, why did they ever break up? But I really wanted to come to the reading cold, and there's a reason why I do that. There are some people that will accuse tarot readers and psychics of going and doing the research and then coming to the table. Tyler Henry is one of these people that is claims that there are claims that he really knows the people that he's doing readings for. If you watch his show, a lot of the time when celebrities come to his house, he goes, oh, I didn't even know who you were. So and I want to give benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, that courtesy should be extended to me as well, and any of my other fellow psychics out there. We really shouldn't be scouring the internet and getting all of the gossipy details. I will pull like one article from my newsfeed and be like, oh, okay, let's do a reading on this. I don't go and look at 27 other articles. A lot of the time when I do a reading, I'll be like, okay, this, that, and the other thing's going on. So, there was a celebrity that I did a private reading for, and I did advise them. I said, you have some kind of contract coming up, and said celebrity made a notice a few days later that there was a contract that they signed. It was kind of a surprise to me. I was like, oh, hey, look at that. I was right. It's always nice to be right sometimes, but if we go and start doing all of this research, we can do a couple of things. So we run the risk of having people say that we are fraudulent because we are doing all of this research. We also run the risk of providing too much front loading. So what is front loading? Front loading is when someone gives you the topic, gives you what they want to read on. So I will have private clients that come to me and they say, I just want a general reading. And so I'll figure out, from the spread, what's the topic of interest, the most important thing for them to look at. But sometimes when I'm in the process of that, I'll say, okay, I've got this work thing, and is there like a gal that's a couple of cubes down that's like trying to get your job or trying to do something? And they'll go, oh my God, yeah, it's Susie Q who sits 2 cubes down from me. That's a bit of front loading. And so, if I can describe her and say, okay, is this the person that we're talking about? If they confirm that, that's really considered front loading. But with the celebrity readings, I want like this much front loading, not this much. So what I had was somebody come to me in the comments. It basically said, like, I didn't know what I was talking about because he was engaged to this Russian gal. In a response to that, I went back and I looked, and nowhere on the internet does it say that Johnny Depp was engaged to this Russian gal. It says they dated. She's a lot younger than him. They went their merry way and tra la la. One article said that she couldn't deal with the pressure of celebrity. There was another that said he exposed her as a gold digger. Like, come on, people. It's I don't see anywhere that it said that they were engaged and they weren't together that long. So I don't think so. I think he is much more cautious about getting married. Now, one of my viewers did have a really nice one and said, what if he gets married again? So so this is going to be like a little of this and a little of that. So let's pull up my card view now that I explained everything that's going on and my angst and outrage. So let's go. As always, if you are new here, this is not a typical video for me. I'm usually not this spicy and not this much Annamilla. I'm usually just Annabelle and just pretty calm about things. So let's see. Was Johnny Depp engaged to the Russian gal? I don't know if I seem angry. Do I seem angry to you? Greg, do I seem angry?
Not really.
Am I ever really angry?
Yeah, you've been angry.
No, well, I'm not like angry all the time, though. Greg? I'm not angry all the time, am I?
No.
Usually I'm pretty freaking pleasant. Say it. Stop it. So, was Johnny Depp engaged to the Russian gal? Was he engaged to the Russian gal? I'm 8 minutes in. I didn't even pull a single card yet. Let's go, fam. Hierophant. Strength. So now you guys that follow me, you know that I consider the Hierophant the seat of power. If we are talking about relationship stuff, the seat of power would either be his higher mind or consulting individuals. So this could be therapist, this could be management, agents, anything like that. This could be his circle of friends, his trusted advisors. So here we have the seat of power saying, let's take your time. Maybe you ought to think about this before you go any further. And then we get this, I would cut her off, because otherwise you're going to be sucked back in to the maelstrom of chaotic relationship here. Here we have, maybe it's a good idea to split. Under the surface, there was something that told him that they should split anyway. And up here, what was the dominant energy? This was getting some. Our Knight of Wands is sticking it everywhere he can. So maybe this was a pressure release. She was very pretty. I'm not saying that she wasn't. I'm not saying she's not a delightful person, but I think that maybe there was a mutual interest there to just kind of hop in the sack and have a good time. So the idea of being in love was probably better than the actuality of being in love with this person. So Did he want to marry her? Yeah, I'll give it to you. Did he want to marry? Yeah, Anna Miller showed up. Did he want to marry her? No. 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 Why would he want to? Why would he want to? He's Johnny Depp, for Pete's sake. Still learning his lessons from the split of the last relationship. And we're talking about the one with Amber, not anything that he had in between. And under here, he wants to get back into that seat of power. He wants to really feel like he's in control of his life. He doesn't want a partnership. He doesn't want to split that control. There was a lot of damage done to his relationship with his kids, so I can't blame him. He needs to be a sole operator for right now. So now let's look into possibilities. What if he got married again? What kind of gal would he need to have a blissful, amazing relationship? What kind of gal? Someone who is sensitive and intuitive to the damage that he has experienced in the past. Someone who is independent and is not going to rely on him for home, cars, finances, anything like that. Someone who is independent and not part of the machinery that is the Johnny Depp machine. Someone who comes and goes. Someone who has their own support systems in place. This Wheel of Fortune, when we get it in reverse, I don't want you to think about it as a negative. This isn't a negative here. What it really is, this is somebody who can come into his life, enjoy, have a good time, and then leave and go have their own life. This is someone who is not intertwined in his life or forcing him to be intertwined into their life. Also, this is someone who has their own support system, who's not going to jump in and try and succubus onto his support system. And here, someone who is really, really independent, highest energy, somebody who has their family complete. So this would be single women that don't have children, single women that maybe have younger dependent children. They would be right out. He wants to have someone who's at the same point as him. So if it's a lady that is done having children, has children the same age as his, maybe do a little blended family kind of thing, that would really be suited very well for him. Under the surface, he just doesn't, this gold digger thing just really burned him. He's really, really burnt by it. He wants to make sure that it's somebody who has their ducats in a row, literally. So that is what I have to say about that. Just for fun, let's see if there's anybody that's sweet on him and he's sweet on them that's in his orbit. Let's just see. I mean, aside from all of us, because all of us are. So put him in the middle. There he is, Ace of Wands. And then we'll see if there are some ladies around him. Yeah, we've got some ladies around him, but do we have any good picks? Not really. This King of Swords, if this is a lady, this is probably the best of the bunch. This is someone who is highly educated, very intellectual. It feels very much like an academic professional. This is someone who has an advanced degree, someone who's extremely smart. It feels like Camille, but it probably isn't Camille. But it feels a lot like her, someone who's been studying for some time and is now, maximizing their career as a result of that. Here we've got, this is a gold digger type. The kept woman in the upright is someone who is grateful and considerate and is glad to have all of the riches and wonderful things that someone brings to them. This is a gold digger. When we get her in reverse, this is a gold digger. This is someone who is gaslighting the snot out of you and who is not being forthright, and truthful. So this is Gold Digger. Over here, this is someone who has come out of a banged up relationship, someone who is worse for the wear because they have been through some terrible stuff and probably will come limping to the finish line going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, please, I need someone to help me. I don't have anybody to pay my car payment. A little bit like the Gold Digger, but really has a legitimate story behind them. Over here, we have the Queen of Swords, who is someone who likes to talk about, and this one feels much more in the arts and the industry. This is probably like agent or another actress, something like that. They are really forging ahead, but there's a lot less emotion into the situation. So if the goal is to get like a sweet and cozy relationship, yeah, not going to happen here. That's not happening here. This is somebody who is calculating and decisive. So, you know, I hate to say, but it's very Angelina Jolie type here. Someone who's going to be much more professional about relationships moving forward, given the relationships that Angelina Jolie has had in the past. So they did do a movie together. So who knows? Like maybe it's her. I don't know. I'm not saying that. Under here, the Knight of Swords. This is a combative person that is in his orbit. This is somebody who we can see this a mile away. We can see the combativeness in every relationship, from the waiter who she says the ice tastes funny. I'm that person. I always think the ice tastes funny. This is a combative person who is in that orbit, who is interested in him, but he is giving them a wide berth. He's not really interested in them at all. And then over here, we have somebody who's really their own, they're on to their own things. And this is career wise and trying to climb up that greasy pole, trying to get ahead in Hollywood. And their association with him would enhance their career. He sees this a mile away too. So lessons learned. He has learned some lessons. So if anything, this is one that the King of Swords over here would be a good fit for him. But all in all, there's a lot of buzz around him, but not a lot of good buzz. So he's got to be very, very careful about who he injects into his life and who he injects his life into, not to be too randy. But for the most part, I do see that he's being super cautious. I think that's a great thing. I think if he does get married, it has to be somebody who really is a person of their own right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Haters, don't come for me in the comments. Please don't do that. This is, you know, this is my favorite part of the day. Don't make it my not favorite part of the day. You know, the good news is if I get haters, that just means I'm getting more exposure. So yay, haters are seeing me. But for the most part, I do this with the highest intent. And I do most of these readings just like I would for any of my clients. So if there's a sticky spot or something that's not great, I try and find that yellow brick road out of the woods and help people live their best life. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, I'm going to have, who am I going to, Harry Styles. And then I'm going to do a bonus reading for Keanu Reeves, because the comments in the Keanu Reeves video I did, holy moly, they were crazy. So stick around. See another one tomorrow. Okay. Have a great day. Coming up on Valentine's Day. So these are extra important.